PvP games are a strange but thrilling mix. You're battling the environment and monsters while also keeping an eye out for other players who might be waiting to take your loot. It's a style of game that can be incredibly fun when you're winning and downright soul-crushing when you lose everything. Now, Dungeon Stalkers steps into the same arena, but with an anime-inspired twist, flashy characters, and its own set of dungeon traps. But does the demo show signs of a standout experience, or is it just another treasure hunt you'll forget about by next week? The first thing that hits you is the art style. It's flashy, colorful, and has that anime hero with questionable armor choices vibe. Each character stands out visually, and the outfits are unique enough that you can tell who's who at a glance. But they don't always look like they belong in the world around them. Imagine a medieval dungeon full of grimy stone walls, only for someone in bright, polished cosplay armor to stroll in like they got lost on the way to a convention. And while the game looks good, the presentation has gaps. The lack of ambient music in dungeons is noticeable. You expect creepy tunes or tense beats while exploring, but instead you get silence that makes things feel empty. Sure, silence can work for horror, but here it just makes the place feel unfinished. The UI doesn't help either. Menus look more like a mobile gacha game than a dark fantasy PvPvE title. The premise is simple. Pick one of 9 characters, each with their own abilities, and head into a dungeon to collect loot. There are 4 modes. 3 of them are PvEP, player versus environment versus player, and 1 is a pure PvE adventure mode with no player combat but smaller rewards. In PvP, you're sharing the dungeon with other players who also want the loot you're after. You'll fight monsters, dodge traps, and maybe stab a rival in the back if the opportunity arises. Random Witch's Curse events can shake things up, like breaking all your armor or summoning a pack of monsters in your room. In theory, it's a great way to keep you on edge. In practice, it can feel more annoying than exciting, especially when it derails a good run. Here's the thing, the core combat feels sluggish. Your attacks have weight, sure, but they also move like they're wading through syrup. Movement isn't much better. Fights often boil down to slowly circling each other, trading hits, and hoping your gear gives you the edge. Enemy AI is nothing to brag about either. Many monsters can be baited into predictable loops, making them way too easy to farm. And if you're playing a ranged character, you can kite most enemies without breaking a sweat. Speaking of characters, switching between melee and ranged can feel like night and day. Playing Hilda, the sword and shield knight, feels like running a marathon with ankle weights while enemies chip away at you. Then you swap to Nave, the mage, and suddenly you're zapping enemies from across the room, laughing as they can't even reach you. Balance may still be in the works, but right now, ranged combat feels way safer and more effective than melee. Gear plays a huge role in your effectiveness, and some items give character-specific bonuses that can completely tilt a fight in your favor. That means the gap between a well-equipped player and a newcomer can be huge, and in a PvEP game, that's dangerous territory. The hideout system is your main hub between runs. Here, you can manage gear, craft items, and transfer loot between characters. Vendors let you buy supplies, weapons, and potions, with a few locked shops hinting at future content. You can also upgrade your hideout to unlock better facilities, but here's the kicker. Players with the Season Pass or Cash Shop perks can upgrade faster, giving them better crafting, better storage, and overall better odds in dungeons. And yes, Dungeon Stalkers is shaping up to be a full-blown live service game with a Season Pass, microtransactions, and a progression system that seems to give paying players a noticeable advantage. Cosmetics and emotes? Fine, but pay-to-progress mechanics in a PvP-heavy game can easily tip into pay-to-win territory, and that's something worth keeping an eye on. Each class has 5 unique abilities, and there's a rune system for customizing your build: agility, magic efficiency, or raw damage. You can unlock more perks using adventure tokens, though the grind can be real if you're not playing constantly. One neat thing is the cross-character loot sharing. If your knight finds a bow, you can give it to your archer. But each class has gear restrictions, so no, your ninja can't run around with a giant warhammer, even if it would be hilarious. Credit where it's due, the game runs well. On PC, it's smooth with stable performance and nice lighting effects. Texture pop-in is rare, and dungeons have a moody, torch-lit vibe. Character animations are clean, and combat visuals are sharp. Sound design is also solid. You get satisfying cues, the clang of a shield block, the twang of a bowstring, the hiss of magic. Ambient noises like distant growls and dripping water help sell the dungeon atmosphere. The soundtrack even ramps up during fights, though it could use more variety. Small audio bugs like looping footsteps are there, but they're already being patched. Dungeon Stalkers has a decent foundation. The class variety, loot system, and atmosphere are all working in its favor. But the sluggish combat, potential balance problems, and heavy life service elements could hold it back. If you're curious about the PvE genre and want to try something new, the demo is worth checking out, especially if you enjoy experimenting with different classes and builds. Just be prepared for some frustrating moments, and keep your expectations in check for the long-term economy and progression. Right now, it's a game that looks good, plays okay, and could be great if the devs smooth out combat and keep monetization fair. Until then, consider the demo a test run, not a full commitment.